Hey everyone! Today I'm testing out Charlotte Tilbury's new Beautiful Skin foundation on my 53-year-old skin. I have rosacea, and as you can see today my skin is a little on the red side. I'm only wearing my moisturizer. I wanted to try the foundation without any primer. So I have oily combination skin, but because I live in Canada, in January and February my skin does tend to get a little bit drier, so I'm anxious to see how this foundation is going to look and feel on my skin. So for 1 ounce or 30 milliliters, it costs $44 US and 55 Canadian dollars. It's pretty comparable in price to both the It Cosmetics CC cream and the Estee Lauder Futurist, which it really looks like either one of those products with the packaging. It is a buildable medium coverage foundation. It is a 16-hour natural glow foundation with buildable medium coverage that hydrates, smooths, blurs the pores, and brightens the skin. And it has a natural finish. So it contains some really great skin-loving ingredients such as hyaluronic acid, which hydrates and revitalizes the skin. It also contains rose complex, which reduces visible signs of fatigue, giving brighter, smoother looking skin. And it has something called Bix Active, which visibly reduces shine and blurs the look of pores. And I have large pores, so I'm really excited to see how this works for me, because I haven't been able to find a Charlotte Tilbury foundation that I like yet. And I've tried a few of them because I just find they really accentuate my pores and any imperfections in my skin. Now on the box, there are a lot of claims, and I'm really not sure how they come up with, these percentages. It boosts hydration by 166%. How is that even possible? Like, I thought the best you could ever get was 100%. Your skin looks plumper and smoother by up to 181%. And your skin tone looks more even by up to 210%. I don't know, how they come up with these claims, but over 90% of the users that they tested agreed to this and said that it minimizes the appearance of pores, reduces the appearance of pigmentation and dark spots, and the skin instantly appeared brighter. So we're going to try this out together, and I'm going to give you my very honest first impressions. So the only thing that I have on my skin is my moisturizer. I didn't want to put any primer on because I just want to see how the foundation applies to my skin. But what I am going to do on the right side of my face, I am going to apply it with a brush, and on the left side I'm going to use just a slightly damp Beauty Blender sponge, and then we're going to compare. So let me just tell you a little bit about the foundation before I get started. It's available in 30 shades, which is great because it really covers a broad range, and hopefully everybody can find a shade that is suitable for them. I purchased mine online and I chose the 4N, which is good for fair to medium with neutral undertones. I have red undertones in my skin, but I just felt that the shade that was recommended was just going to be way too dark for me. So fingers crossed that the 4N works out okay. I have oily combination skin and I'm 53 years old. This is one pump and you can see the consistency. It's fluidy, it's runny. There is a tiniest hint of rose, but I mean, you really have to work to get that rose scent, if that makes sense. So let's just dab it all over my skin. You can see my skin is very red today. It's very cold here. Now just kind of buff it into the skin. Now I'm just pressing it gently into the skin. I don't want to drag it over the skin just because it is a lighter foundation. I'm afraid if I drag it over my skin, it's really going to shear it out. But just looking at it right now, it blurs out any redness that was on my cheek. I can see some of my pores, but maybe once we powder it down and set it with a setting spray, the pores will lessen. So one pump did the whole right side. Now we're gonna just apply this all over the left side. And yeah, I can tell you right away, I prefer how it goes on with the brush on my skin. It's just getting too sheer. You can still see the redness. Okay, so that's one pump, and you can see the right side. I think that the right side looks a lot better than the left side, but I can still see some redness peeking through. I'm gonna put another full pump, and I'm just gonna put it over both cheeks, and then I'm just gonna use my brush just to buff it in all over. Because yeah, I wasn't happy with how it applied with the Beauty Blender. So I would definitely, for me, I'd be using a brush to apply it. Okay, so my very first impressions, definitely I prefer to apply it with the brush. As you can see, I put 2 full pumps all over my face. In my 10 times mirror, I can see it sitting on my pores, but maybe after I set it with powder and use the setting spray, it will blur away. It dries pretty quickly, like it's not really tacky. I think the color match is pretty good. Like I don't see any visible oxidization or, you know, any marks where I can see where my foundation begins and ends. First impressions, I think it's nice. It didn't blow me away, but I don't think that's fair to the foundation. I want to try it, you know, a few more times, and I'll circle back and do an update video in a couple of weeks and let you know my feelings. But overall, first impressions, I think that I do like it. So I'm just going to go ahead quick and finish the rest of my makeup. I will list everything below in the description box. I'm just going to set it with some Hourglass powder. I don't have Charlotte setting powder. And then for blush today, I'm not doing like anything super exciting for makeup because we're having a blizzard. I'm staying home. I'm just going to apply a little bit of the Sweet Cheeks blush. For my eyebrows today, I'm just using some brow mascara by Cosmetics. I like a nice brow mascara. It's just really quick and, you know, easy to do. For eyeshadow today, I'm actually trying out one of Charlotte's eyeshadow pencils, and this is in Pillow Talk. Oh, this is really pretty. I love a one and done eyeshadow, and so simple to apply. Just kind of pressing it in with my finger, but isn't that lovely? It's just a nice pink for a drab winter day. I also have the Pillow Talk in the Jewel Pot, which I also really like. Just like the ease and portability of a pencil. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set everything with the Flawless setting spray. For my lashes today, I'm using the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes. This is the first time I've ever used this. The brush is quite stiff, and I have very thin, sparse lashes, and wow, this really does a great job of pushing them up. Wow, that's really lovely. Look at the difference. It's really nice. I do find the brush is a bit, it's hard, like it feels like a hard plastic. I only ever do my top lashes. Wow. Talk about exaggerating my eyelashes. Oh, this is fantastic. Really impressed with this mascara. I see I got a little bit on my lid up here, so I'm just gonna take the pencil and kind of color over it. And then for my lips today, I'm also using Pillow Talk lipstick. Okay, so my first impressions, it is a nice foundation. It looks very luminous. I think that from a distance it looks great, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. I do need to exfoliate my face, and I want to come back and try it again, but it is sitting in my pores and on some dry skin. Now, as far as the color match, I think it's okay. I think that if I would have went for the one with the red undertones, the shade would have been just too dark for me. It did a nice job with the 2 pumps, like hiding any redness in my skin. It feels like I'm not wearing anything. It's very, very light on the skin, and it's not too dewy looking. Like, I find the Futurist really looks nice on me, but it makes me look kind of really glowy and oily. This foundation doesn't do that. It applied nicely. Again, I would use a brush, but that's just my preference. So it's 9:30 a.m. I'm gonna circle back around 6 p.m. That's when I usually would wash off my makeup. So that's gonna give me what, eight and a half hours. And I'm not going to touch my face for the rest of the day. I'm not gonna touch it up, and I'm just gonna show you at the end of the day how my makeup looks. But first impressions are favorable. So, you know, fingers crossed, maybe I finally found my Charlotte Tilbury foundation that will work for me. So at 6 p.m. I've had the foundation on now for about 8.5 hours, which is roughly how long I would normally wear makeup. I think that overall the foundation looks pretty good. I haven't touched up anything since this morning. I don't really notice any oiliness on my skin to the touch. It's soft, it's dry. Sometimes by this point in the day, my skin would have little oil slicks on it. That's not the case. I'm really impressed with that. There are some issues, like in the chin area, I can see where it's breaking down a bit, and I do have some dryness there. But like I had said earlier in the video, I know that I need to do a good exfoliation, so I'm not going to blame that on the foundation. That's just my skin. I just was so excited to try it. I will use it over the next couple of weeks, and I'll come back with a follow-up video. But you know, for first impressions, I'm pretty impressed. I really like it. I thought that I did a pretty good job color matching online, that the 4N, you know, is a good color match for my skin. Probably if I was more tanned, then I would definitely have to go with a darker shade. But overall, I'm really impressed and pleased that this foundation, you know, fingers crossed, seems to work for me. So if you found my video helpful, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more easy everyday makeup and fashion videos for the over 50 woman. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I appreciate it. Bye.